So Big T wanted me to make this video, so shout out to Big T. He saw that there was something interesting that happened when he tried to transport within his family group. Now, I, along with a lot of you guys, were very skeptical about family group. It just seemed kind of sketchy. I just didn't even try it out because I didn't even want to go there, right? I didn't want Evony binding my account with other people's accounts, so I just never did it. If you look at the top, you see rate of fees says 15%. It says 15% because I am not in a family group with this account. I invited this account to my family group based off of what Big T was showing me. So I wanted to test this out to show you guys myself, just, to see if this actually is valid. So you basically have to invite the castle, and then they have to accept within 24 hours. And if somebody does not accept, it just automatically deletes the invitation, which of course is great because you do not want to be adding some random strangers, right? So make sure you're very careful because there's been 3 or 4 warnings that said, make sure you're careful who's in your family group because you cannot unchange that. So that being said, when I did the family group, and I still tried to transport resources, it would let me do it only on people not my family members. But when I tried to transport to myself with 0 fees, it kept red Wi-Fiing. So I just thought, you know what? This is a glitch. This is something that, it is not going to work. It's just typical Evony red Wi-Fi. But when I kept trying to do it, I was then given a force update. So when I logged out, so after you add somebody to your family group, log out of the account and restart the game, and it will make you force update. Okay, so you're going to get this red Wi-Fi, so you're going to have to log out and restart the game, or else you're going to keep getting that. So after I restarted the game, it did a force update, and then when I tried to do the transporting again, it worked. So I'll show this again from my account. So I'm transporting 360 million resources each, minus the food because I don't have any food. But you'll see that my remaining daily transport times is 347, and I could transport that much tax-free. Now, this is a great option for if you really do have a son or daughter that you want to help grow their keep, you're easily able to transport. But just remember that your embassy size and your keep size are going to dictate how much you can send, right? How many times you can send, how much resources you can send. So as you see here, the baby can only send 8.69 resources each and only 18 times. So just take into account what that means. So that being said, I think that this is a great function if it truly is not like a spy tracking tool. I think if you're in a family group, you're in the same household or whatever it is, a lot of times it's the dad or the mom that's spending the money and giving their kids packs and they're going to put it on their account. Why shouldn't they be able to share the resources amongst each other, right? I mean, that just only makes sense. Now, I've never really gotten into whole transporting and all that kind of stuff because I kept hearing people kept getting banned or kept getting flagged for transporting too much RSS. And it's like, why would you put that function in the game if you're banning people for it? Also, in other games, this is a very common practice where an alliance does pushes, and they will all push one account and all send resources at the same time so that person can level up to K40 or K41. That way, they have a more effective teammate player. So it is interesting that only your family members have this 0 tax, and does this mean that only your family members can transport? I don't know. We'll find out at reset, I guess, on what this function really means and what it's going to allow. I'm only adding the one account to my family because I want to see everything in writing before I decide to add more accounts. And this also means another thing. If the higher the account lets you transport more resources, more transport turns, wouldn't that mean that you would kind of be forced to upgrade or have bigger accounts or bigger spending accounts to be in your family to be able to do that. I think the other thing is that your embassy upgrades dictate how much RSS you can send and all that kind of stuff. I never knew that, so now I'm going to have to upgrade my embassy if I want to help my little baby grow. And even then, the baby can only accept a certain amount of RSS based on their embassy level. So that all is something that you need to look into. And the last thing that I just want to say again is make sure whoever you're adding to your family group that you completely trust, because I have read 4 times now that they're warning you, once you become a family member, you cannot change it. You can't get out of it. You are stuck and bound to that account forever. And you just have to be careful, because maybe your kid decides to follow a life of crime and starts packloading stolen credit cards, and that will affect your main account after they get caught. Or maybe your kids are responsible and they give the account to somebody else that completely does something that, again, compromises your account. So just make sure you're thinking of all different areas, and I would just start very slow on adding your family group just to make sure that there isn't a hidden sneaky agenda or there's not a downside or consequence. We all know how Evony is, and they can give you a dangling carrot wrapped in gold, but once you bite into that carrot, it's like, oh, sorry, we're taking away this function, and now we know all of the accounts that are tied to you, you know? So I would just be careful. And the truth of the matter is there really are families. There really are people that spend in the same household. There really are people that have to pay for their child to play the game. So it just doesn't make sense that you would not be able to share those resources. So that being said, guys, let me know what you think at Reset. Hopefully we'll get the actual official literature on it, and let me know in the comments. See you soon.